very pleased today to be speaking with Kangmin Kim, who is an acclaimed artist and director and animator who has
Thank you.
absolutely, who screened at major festivals like Sundance, Annecy, South by Southwest, and Glas. And KKUM, your most recent film project, took home the grand prize from Ottawa, which is quite an achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And your films use handmade materials and focus, I would say, on the themes of family and memory. And I'm pleased, very pleased to be able to speak with you. So thank you.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I guess let's start with KKUM. I saw this project in 2020 when all of the film festivals were going online during the pandemic. And I can't remember exactly, but I think it was through a festival in Canada where I was screening a little something. And, you get a digital pass so you can watch all of the other projects. And I decided I would watch a bunch of pieces, and I didn't know your work. And I watched KKUM, and I was completely mesmerized. I was blown away by how beautiful it was. It was a very impactful film for me. So I guess my first question for you about that project is that it received tremendous acclaim, qualified for the Oscars, received awards at festivals. How did you feel about the film as you were making it? Did you sense that this was an important film for you or a seminal film for you? And how do you feel now after it's been released for some time?
Definitely, this is very important short film. But also, I consider this film as just a process step for the next short film. Yeah, actually, I had another plan to make the film, but I needed budget and more time to make that film. And I could use only 2 months to make the short film, the KKUM. So, and I couldn't use so much budget. I had to use money from my pocket. So, okay, I'm gonna use very tiny budget, and I have to finish film in 2 months. Then what should I do? Okay, let's make the maybe KKUM first, and try to find out my new style through this project, and then let's see what happened. So that's how I started to make the KKUM, and I didn't expect to receive a lot of award and recognition from the world, because my previous work, they are very, very personal style, personal story. I was an artist and filmmaker who used to make the film for myself and for my family, but KKUM totally changed my idea. Because of the Ottawa grand prize, but also I got the audience award, which it was more surprise than the grand prize.
Yeah, it must feel wonderful to know that the viewers were connecting with your project and not just those looking from a more critical mind, perhaps.
Yes.
Wow, I had no idea that your production time was so short for KKUM. It feels like a project that's been worked on for significantly longer than 2 months.
Because
go ahead.
Like I mentioned before, I'm a freelance artist. So I have to keep finding a new project to earn some money and to support my family. But yeah, okay, I wanted to make the short film, and then okay, let's start working. But okay, maybe I can give to myself some time to make my film. But at the same time, I could see the money disappearing in my account. That's why I had to find out the concept and the core of my project very quickly. That's how I usually start my production. And that's the biggest reason I could usually finish my film very quickly.
Well, that's very curious that it seems that you took the pressure off of yourself in a way by saying that KKUM would just be a holdover until you got to like your big project. Because in some ways that takes the cerebral qualities away from making the film, if you know what I mean. But you also had a tremendous amount of pressure on yourself thinking about the budget and time passing. So you created a perfect storm of tension there that seemed to work for you.
Oh, yeah, perfect storm. I think that sounds great. Yeah. I think I'm a person, I'm an artist who like to have pressure and limitation. I use that a lot for KKUM actually. Because of, I try to find what is the best material to make this film. And I find out two materials, styrofoam and just normal foam. And and I set up the light and set up the camera, try to explore, try to find out what is the specialty of that material through the camera. And I made the test puppet for the KKUM.
Yes.
This is the first puppet and also last puppet I made. I couldn't make the new one. So I made this puppet first and then set up the lighting. And the first shot through the camera, and I just fall in love. Oh my God, this is looks beautiful. The material, it's very cheap material, and also this is very usual in stop motion industry. Everybody use this material, but usually in stop motion industry, we put more material on this foam.
Sure, fabric or paint
fabric,
or
yes. But ironically, I didn't have a time and money for that. And then, okay, let's see what happened. And I just, oh my God, this material looks amazing, camera. So, okay, I'm gonna just use it. And also the styrofoam, I used the melting technique for commercial project before. And I've been waiting to use that technique again. And finally, KKUM was the project.
I have seen some of your sketchbooks online where you were working out some storyboards and ideas and character ideas for KKUM. When you were making those drawings, were you imagining those figures, those early drawings, were you imagining those figures in foam, or did that connection happen a little bit later?
I made I think maybe early sketchbook I couldn't figure out what kind of material. I just write down maybe a few sentences and very simple thumbnail sketch first. And then I try to find the material. And I found the foam gonna be working. So I made a puppet first. And then I could figure out the shape and texture. Then I could use the puppet for more detailed storyboarding or concept, style frame, something like that.
So when you made your initial puppet, the one you just showed us, did you begin to start shooting tests right away, or?
Yes. Start shooting for the test, but it was just very short, maybe less than 1 day. I
of
couldn't use
tests.
more, yeah, I couldn't use more test time because everything is very tight,
Right.
schedule wise. So right next day, I just have to use my note for storyboarding before shooting, and then at the same day shooting.
Wow. So where did the building of the other puppets and materials happen alongside the storyboarding and the shooting? How did you manage all three? What was the structure like?
So I I have a 10 minutes rule. So every morning I had to drop off my son in the kindergarten, and
Mm-hmm.
I go to the open the portal, and it was around 10 a.m. And then I try to give me only 10 minutes to figure it out. What should I do in today? And that's the time I use a note, very small thumbnail sketch storyboarding. Okay, and then after 10 minutes, whether it was wrong decision or good decision, just keep keep on my plan, keep
You
on
have
my
in
track.
you have information and you're getting
Mm-hmm,
more information as you go. Ah,
mm-hmm.
that's really smart. You're inspiring me.
I
I've
know.
had I've been bumping up against a very severe creative block lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
Uh-huh.
I need to just tighten things up, condense things down, and just make some decisions, but
Mm.
you know how it is.
Yeah, it's hard, and that is why I love using limitation.
Hmm.
That's sometimes that's more helpful, and yeah, and also for the prop and background or set. Actually, if you watch the film again, most of the shot have just black background actually,
Yes.
because I couldn't build everything. But this foam, it has very rich texture on it.
Yes.
Even though we see the only one puppet in the frame, we I thought, okay, I don't feel any simplicity. Somehow I feel it looks the frame itself, it looks very rich because of the light, because of the texture, because of the material.
Yes, absolutely. And it brings me to my next question, which is I want to watch Goom again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When is it going to be released for the general public? How can people see this wonderful film of
Yeah,
yours?
it's I used to release my film whenever I start the next project, next short film project.
I see.
Yeah, and right now, you know, in the beginning of the interview, I briefly mentioned about actually, I wanted to make the other film first.
Right.
Yes. So I've been pitching, but the next film, it's more bigger scale
Hmm.
and more puppet I need. And also because of the concept, I need to create more realistic looking.
I see.
Yes, so I need more time. I already have a storyboarding and concept image, everything, but I've been trying to pitch it to the professional production company who who can help me to make it happen.
How is the pitching process going for you?
I pitch only to the one production company, but they loved it.
Oh,
They
good.
wanted to work, yeah, but that doesn't mean, hey, okay, we have money, we can give this money to you. No, it's not going to happen in this day. But good thing is they they gonna let me use their space and tool for free.
Oh, good. That's great.
Yeah, which is really great. So maybe I can jump into do very simple maybe visual test in there, and maybe they can use the visual test to find more money, more funding. Mhm. But I'm not sure, nothing concrete right now. I'm not sure when I can start production right now.
I see. Well, good luck. I hope that they realize that they need to fund your project now.
But I can definitely send you the private link.
Please do. Please do. I would love to watch it again. I was teaching some students at Rutgers last year at their art school, and I showed them a number of your films. I showed them 38, 39 degrees Celsius and Deer Flower. Wonderful thesis film, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to show it to them, because they were making an end of the semester micro short film, like a 20 to 30 second piece where they were trying to encapsulate some idea. And they couldn't believe that your film was a student project, which was I think very inspiring for them and depressing at the same time, because it's so complete.
Thank you. I'm teaching right now in school, and nowadays students making an amazing thesis film. Sometimes I feel bad.
That's a great sensation, though.
Oh, and also there's one thing I like to mention about the next film. So if you remember, in the KKUM, there are 4 different dreams in it. And each part, end of each dream, there is an explanation, such as fire means something, pumpkin means something. Right. But last dream, airplane accident, there is no explanation.
I see. Is that the cliffhanger?
Actually, that's audience going to find out from the next film.
Nice. Yes, you have an interest in sequels and continuations, because with 38, 39 degrees Celsius and Jom is how you pronounce it, right? And Jom, you call it a direct sequel.
Yeah.
And for the audience, the subject matter is the family birthmark being passed down, and I guess reckoning with a kind of shame, I guess you would say, or anger. I was curious, how does your family react in general when they see your films? Because Dear Flower, the 2 films we just mentioned, as well as KKUM, all very intimately and personally show and describe the dynamics of your family and your past. How is that? What is that like with you and your family?
Actually, they definitely watch every film I made, and also I invite my family when I have a premiere of KKUM in USA. So they fly from the South Korea to here, but they didn't mention many things to me.
Nothing.
Not nothing, but until the KKUM, maybe before, until I made the Dear Flower, maybe they didn't know what I was doing exactly. And when I finished the Dear Flower, and I also submit to a lot of a festival in South Korea, and I got some award, but I couldn't go there because I'm in LA. And I asked to my father and mother, hey, can you guys maybe go there and watch the film? And also, can you do the award acceptance speech instead of me? And that was the first time they watched my film in a big theater with many audiences. So they could see the people's reaction. And my father, actually, he didn't know what to say in the first award acceptance speech, but later, he learned how to do speech. And he learned how to express his emotion, his feeling to the audience when he got the award. I did, but I don't know what he said because I didn't hear. I don't know why. I didn't ask, hey, how was my feeling? I mean, we never expressed each other.
That's very curious. You do you make such a beautiful atmosphere in your films with the relationship with family, because our relationships with family are very complex and ever moving and changing. And I think you move through those kinds of emotions very fluidly in terms of perhaps the shame elements of your young protagonist in Dear Flower, or the anger perhaps in 38, 39 degrees Celsius, but also the tenderness that you clearly have for your mother in Goom. And I think you manage to find all of those different notes, which feels very real. And you approach your family history, it seems to me, with great sensitivity.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I'm trying to study what is my family. Yeah, and what is my mother, and who is my mother, who is my father through my short film, and also about my next generation, my kids. And still, yeah, there is a very deep complexity I cannot reach, I cannot touch. Sometimes I don't understand my family. Yeah, I couldn't believe how they are loved, because now I have a kid, and I couldn't believe how my parents gave so much love, yeah, when I was young, and also so much hate at the same time, and also very strange love at the same time. So yeah, there is a complexity, and that is why I love, yeah, the story inside of my family. And also I believe whenever I tell my family story, that makes me also a unique filmmaker.
Yes.
And also the one of the most important reason I make short film about my family is documenting my life, to show it to my next generation in my family.
Yes.
Yeah, my son, they love my work, and they wanted to watch it again.
That
And
must feel very good.
yeah, yes. And also, maybe 40 or 50 years later, I'm gonna be dead, and whenever they miss me, they can watch my work and they can feel it. And when they see my work, they can see my picture in it, they can see my story, and also they can see their family or their voice in it. They must feel a very strong connection from my work.
That's a very beautiful motivation. And you use the word voice because that was one of the next things I wanted to ask you about. Because in some of the earlier films, there maybe aren't many instances of hearing a voice or the dialogue to set us up. In Dear Flower, for example, is like an old silent film. It's kind of scrawled below. And in your most recent film, Goom, you use a more of a traditional voiceover technique, but also have the conversation with your mother. Can you tell me a little bit about the movement away from more silence and showing images to now kind of moving in between both of this kind of vocal storytelling and also visual storytelling? And how did you land there? How was working in that way for you?
I think for the next film, I might go back to the without narrative or voice. But okay, this is a good question. So I'm try to keep the balance between the industry and artist. Right after school, after my thesis, I started working in the stop motion industry, animation industry. So since 2011, and I thought I was not a good animator, because usually when in Disney or Pixar, DreamWorks, or maybe how American people have a communication with others, they use their body also a lot, body language, eye contact, and facial expression, more big facial expression. I was not that kind of a person. I was more like the use very minimal facial expression, minimal body language. But when I work in the animation industry in LA, I could learn about dialogue and body language, more express emotion through our body. And then I could use it actually. Okay, now I know how to use it. Then that means also I can use it for my film. So yeah, in the KKUM, maybe what I learned from the industry kind of changed my mind. Also, after finishing my film, I look back my history and I try to learn, okay, for my next film, what should I do to make a different film? So every film have a different technique, different visual language, and different sound in it. Because after I finished my thesis film, this is a perfect for my thesis. So after I finished my thesis film, I thought I'm gonna use the same technique for a long time. But no, no, that's not gonna be happen. My style, what I have, what I learn, what I listen to music or movie, everything keep changing my style again and again and again.
Yes. So for the next project, do you already have some different materials in mind, or are you still figuring that part out?
I'm still trying to figure it out. But I already have a picture in my mind, but I'm not sure what kind of material I'm going to use.
Well, you mentioned the sound. Tell me a bit more about the process of working with sound designers, and how much directing were you doing with sound designers, and what's your style in terms of directing? Because your films all have very, very punchy, particular, full sound design.
I think I love animation because even though this is a very personal story film, but animation is all about collaboration to me. It's a teamwork. And luckily, I have a friend. His name is Barrett Slager. And he also one of the founder of the Portal. And he's a sound designer and also composer. We used to work together for commercial work. And also he made the sound and music for John Gum with me. And the Gum, this is very Asian culture thing. So, but that doesn't mean I have to give him so much clear information, because I also like kind of try to just open his mind a little bit and then keep this space only for him so he can play with. So I gave him only rough edited version of animation, and just one reference movie, Japanese movie. And also I made one graph about how my emotion change through my film. So my emotion going up and then going down. And I try to put the memo why my emotion goes up here and why my emotion goes down. And at the end, something changed. In the KKUM, my mother always protect me, pray for me, and I feel love. But at the end, little bit changed. I felt because of my mother's strange and very strong love. Sometimes I feel like this is create invisible jail, something I cannot broke. So I put that kind of every information into the visual graph. So that's what I gave to him.
Was it surprising for you when he came back with the score?
First, we had to have a lot of meeting together. Definitely, I'm not satisfied when I have a first meeting, So this is my idea past, and this is his idea past. There is so much gap. And then we have a more meeting. And then at the end, we try, okay, hey, Barrett, this is what I love. And also, this is what he loves together.
Well, it's a wonderful collaboration. Do you think he's going to work on the sound design for the next project as well?
Yeah, if he can, I love to work with him again.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell our readers/viewers about your current projects or current inspiration?
So I've been working in the industry more than 10 years. And my recent project was, so this is my office in school. I'm sharing this office with my co-faculty member. I've been working in the commercial project, and there is a few project very special, this is one of the very special project to me.
Oh, it's Marcel.
Marcel, I was an animator on that project.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And at the end of the project, film, there is a lot of crowded shots, skating, party. So that was my shot. So you can see this postcard also. Oh no, not this one. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, this Marseille was very special project to me, and I could also push my limit as an animator because this is a very tiny puppet. And also recently, on Apple TV, there is a TV series named title is Shapes Island. Yeah, and there is a Halloween special, no, a Christmas special episode. If you watch that episode, there is a around the 3 minute sequence cut out animation, and I also work on that sequence, and yeah, it was very, very, very great inspirational project. So if you guys have a chance to check it out, please check it out. And let me
what was the name of the show again? Was it Shape Island?
Shapes Island.
Shapes Island. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna check it out.
And let me just briefly give you guys very short tour. Like I mentioned before, I'm a faculty member in Carrot's experimental animation, and this is my office. So this is the door of our studio.
Welcome to the door.
Yeah, And this is a stop motion facility. So students have a desk, and there is another door, two door. You see, that's the shooting space. And then this is some work and poster brochure made by our students. And this is my desk. So there is
I see all the deer flower puppets.
Yeah, deer flower puppet, mosquito, and then my parent. And this is a deer flower puppet, and this is a prototype 3D printed version.
You've kept the deer flower puppets in remarkably good shape considering they've been around a while.
Oh yeah, actually they are pretty strong puppet.
I
This is
see.
because this is a plastic 3D printed, and then I put the watercolor paper, thick watercolor paper on it. So
I see. I see.
they are super strong. And also this is a ball joint puppet.
We're getting a behind the scenes look at deer
Yes.
flower.
And this is from my thesis. This is also from my thesis at the end.
Yes. I remember the giant rock falls from the
Yes.
sky.
Yeah. And this big puppet also from
Oh,
deer flower.
yes.
And then this is I usually call this film as a failure case. This is my BFA thesis film. They are paper building. And I'm a stop motion artist, so I love camera stuff.
collection.
Yeah, camera collection. Oh, there's Ottawa trophy. Ottawa,
Nice.
Zagreb here.
Very nice.
Stop motion Montreal trophy. And this is I'm teaching the 2D cutout downshooting class. So this is the puppet I made for the class. And this is a puppet for the commercial work. I use the same material, same technique with a GUM. But this time I try to put a little bit more detail.
I see. They're a little more specific.
Yes. And there is also,
the
puppet
hot tub.
from hot tub. And this is also from my BFA for this is film.
This is great. It's great to see all the physical objects from the films.
Yeah, and I have simple light box, and I also do a lot of the scratch on film technique. Yeah, if you go to my Instagram, you can see my recent scratch on film signal film I made for screening. So on my Instagram.
Yes, I think I saw it. There's a jogger or a runner.
Yes,
space,
that's
right?
I made that animation on this light box. So I have this C stand here. So right now I put the lamp here, but if I need to shoot down shooting, then I usually put the camera here. So this is my simple office, and I'm still making the shelf for my office.
It's great. It's a very, very cozy office. It's full of all your friends.
Yeah, I love it. And also the reason why I love this office is we have around 14 students using the space here. 14 and 15. And also we have a class happening here. So yeah, I love to watching how they make their puppet, their set. And also my co-faculty member share my office. His name is Stephen Kyoto. He's a legendary stop motion artist. So yeah, also he's my mentor.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's great that the students can be so close to the both of you as well.
We try to have a office hour as much as we can.
That's great. I'm very excited, as I'm sure our readers slash viewers are excited as well to see what happens with your new project. And fingers crossed. In Italy, we say croce la dita, fingers crossed that the production companies give you the money so that you can push on, and then you can release Coom to the world.
Yeah, that's what I want. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, any final thought before we sign off?
I think I share everything with you guys. That's all I have, and I hope to have maybe another opportunity to review when I have a next film.
Well, that would be excellent. And I want to thank you, Kangmin Kim, so much for your time and for sharing your space and your ideas with us. And have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great time in Italy, and yeah, let's keep on touch.
Thanks, Kangmin.
Okay.
Talk soon.
Thank you, Kate.
Bye.
Have a good night.